Welcome back to Jak and Daxter. We're done with the Lost Precursor City, so we're going to the Misty Bog or whatever it's called.
I don't fucking know.
It's a bog level.
It probably has mist in it or some shit.
I'd call it the Forgotten Bog, but that was God of War 2.
It's just a swamp level. There's nothing really special about the bog. It is just a solidly designed stage.
Which, for some reason, I always... Boggy Swamp, that's the name.
Boggy swamp. You know, I always miss a precursor orb in this level. And it's always the same damn one, too.
Precursor or Power Cell.
Oh, Power Cell.
I am tired of this, Lewis. Get it right, man.
I probably miss a precursor orb in here too, though. It's kind of easy to miss things in this particular level. The one really memorable part of it is that this is the one of the places with a mini game. Oh, also there are a lot of fireball shooting areas where, in order to get all the precursor orbs, you need to get yellow eco and shoot fireballs at crates before your timer runs out, because you can't actually break open the metal crates without the fireball.
So Yellow Eco is pretty much Jack's Fire Flower from Mario.
Yep, pretty much.
Awesome stuff.
Although it fires straight forward indefinitely, so...
Do you ever get...
No, it homes in a little bit.
Oh yeah, it does home in on enemies, but...
do you ever get the ability to use any of these things infinitely? If not in this game, then in other games? Or is it...
Dark and Light in Jak 3, but no. This is the last time we have colored eco power-ups.
It's just Dark and Light in other games?
Well, it's in Jak 2, Jak gets the Dark Eco form, which is basically his Angry Time Rage mode.
Oh, it's Dark Spine Jak, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And in Jak 3, he gets the Light Jak transformation in addition to his previous Dark form.
Ooh, edge-tastic.
Continuity.
I haven't played Jak 3 frequently enough to actually remember what Light Jak did, though.
It gets wings so it can kind of hover, and it can heal itself and has a shield.
Oh,
right.
so it's broken mode, okay.
Jesus Jack.
Well, I think Dark Jak is more powerful offensively.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Jak 2 Echoes, then, okay.
No, Jak 2 Ecos.
These rats are fucking annoying, and here's why. They come out of these nests, right? And the only way to stop them from spawning in is to get a yellow eco power-up and blast the nest with fire flower blasts until it goes away. But the rats will keep climbing out in front of your fireballs, which slows you down, destroying the nest.
And is this like a timer where if you don't do it all at once, you have to start all over again, or...?
No, the game saves every little bit of progress you make.
Okay, so it's just tedious then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't do everything here on my first go because I get a bit lost.
You can't kick the nest into submission. You have to use the fireballs.
Yep.
What if I tried punching the bee?
Have you ever tried to
bee.
punch a bee, John? It's not easy.
I never punched the bee, but I've sure as hell swatted some.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, you've actually swatted a bee? Oh, look out, we got a badass over here.
I was young and stupid.
It is deceptively easy to misjudge the jumps over the spiked vine pits, by the way.
Why is that?
There's just some weird perspective going on with a few of them, where you think you can make a jump to a further platform, but it turns out you have to jump on this middle platform slightly to the side to get to the other side without landing on the vines.
This place is really going for the kind of spooky, kind of swampy type area, though.
Well, you know what it reminds me most of? Crash Bandicoot Warped's dinosaur levels.
Are there dinosaurs?
No, there aren't, but it has the same sort of, murky, watery swamp thing going on.
More green, though.
Yeah. A little less volcano.
No scientists, either.
Okay, that's something I've been wondering. How much how much Crash connection is there to Jak? Jak, like, Other than, like, you know, design influence, are there, like, any straight-out references hidden in here, or are they trying to keep this mostly separate?
I don't think they make any blatant Crash Bandicoot references in the... Oh.
If we're talking strictly themes, I think Jak 1 is the most obvious.
Well,
You know, but again, we were getting into that earlier parts where thematically, I think this is like Naughty Dog's last go at this sort of look and feel of a 3D platformer, which is why I think they went the darker and edgier route with Jak 2 and Jak 3. But if we're just talking about basics here, you know, there are boxes to break, there are poisonous boxes that you shouldn't touch, like nitros and Crash or TNT.
well, that's just kind of like platforming stuff. Like,
Well, yeah, but it's really easy to draw those parallels to Crash because Naughty Dog.
yeah, I suppose. Like, I just draw connections to every other 3D platformer ever made, but, you know, like...
It feels very much the spiritual successor when you're going around spin-kicking boxes, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
And, you know, I didn't play a lot of platformers in the mid-90s, but Crash is the only one that comes to mind where it comes to breaking boxes. Like, to get goodies.
It also does that thing where whenever you pick up a MacGuffin collectible thing, it flies up to the number. This is the mission Samos sent us on at the end of the last part, where we need to break these tethers to prevent this hot air balloon ship from pulling a piece of a precursor robot out of the swamp. Each tether is worth 1 power cell.
But you don't have to do any one specific mission in this game, though, right? Because, like, it's just a matter of... So this isn't this isn't like a plot important thing. Like, we're not going to be using this balloon later. It's just you can do this to get power cells, kind of thing.
Yeah, occasionally, you don't even need to talk to Samos or Kira to do the missions, but occasionally, if you go back to wherever they're hanging out at a given time and talk to them, they'll have crises that are going on in a specific region that you can resolve, and it's just, you know, an in-story reason for why you know to do these things.
I think it's like the first time I've ever heard the plural form of crisis ever.
You never talked about DC crossovers with anybody?
So most of the time, the crisis is used in the singular form.
Well,
Crisis on Infinite Earths or-
if you're talking about the crises in general, I suppose.
Yeah, I've heard the plural form of crisis used so infrequently that I'm not even sure I got the right plural form for it.
I'm pretty sure you got it right.
It sounds right.
This.
Oh, the music kicked up, so something important's got to be happening. What's happening?
This room bugs the shit out of me. Okay, you're being ambushed by all sides, and the enemies just keep coming, and you just have to last to the end of it, obviously. Here's the thing, okay? Whenever you pick up an eco power-up, your character bounces upward and basically can't act for about half a second. And
So you're vulnerable.
Half a second of vulnerability screws me over so much.
Yeah, I can see why. Camera angle's a bit I'm not sure if it's because of where Ryan's positioned, or
No,
is it possible to move to like see what's ahead of you?
I think you do have control of the camera here. It's just, you know, they give you an achievement for this one power cell. They knew.
They knew, but they didn't consider that much of a big deal. It's a bronze trophy.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's one of those missions that annoys me.
Well, every game has those. Even your favorites just has those things that are annoying and you don't look for.
They're more obvious in HD collections or HD remasters. Like, you know, initially this game didn't have trophies, but we want to give it trophy support. So let's not really think too hard on this, and let's just give them small trophies for the most basic shit.
Well, it's not like it's kind of weird. Like you don't see an awful lot of HD remasters that like add stuff to a game. The only example I can think of like of an HD remaster that does that is Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, where in Tooie they up the frame rate, although they should do that. Kazooie they change how the notes work, and they also added stop and swap stuff that really was not as interesting as the idea was. on paper, to be honest. But like that's the only exception I can think of. Like 9 times out of 10, these games are, aside from the resolution increase, exactly the same as they were when you first played them back in 2000.
Sometimes they don't even like reprogram stuff to fit the new 16:9 ratio, aspect ratio.
Virgil's disappearing book in DMC3 is a,
you would like it's one of the first things I noticed with the Ratchet and Clank HD collection. I point this out in my Let's Play. The title screen, when you see Ratchet working on something in his garage, there is a flying space pterodactyl in the sky. When it gets to the left or right of the screen, it just pops out.
Yeah.
Like it just disappears.
Don't even get me started on Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and specifically The Sands of Time, neither of the other two games in the collection. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, the title screen is just stretched.
At least it looks clean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It even has stereoscopic 3D.
Ooh, fancy schmancy. If you are
Prince
one
of
of the,
Persia,
if you're
in your face.
if you're one of the 3 people who own a 3D TV,
Still don't.
I don't either.
But yeah, I think people are just gonna straight up ignore 3D for this in favor of 4K resolution, which I think will become inexpensive in about 10 more years.
What's the point of having 4 times HD resolution?
So you
for
can see
television?
every living pore on that elderly anchor's face.
No, you see, 4 times HD resolution is great and all, but nothing uses that resolution, so you're still
not
seeing
yet.
HD resolution and everything. It's like
Yeah.
television is standardized. Video games are designed to have resolution for standard televisions, and that's it. The only times you ever get to see an actual game or something at that resolution is when you're playing it on a PC.
Yep. But you buy it, so you say you have a 4K TV. All your friends would be jelly.
The thing is that the people said that same thing when you got when HD came around too. So I think it's just a matter of it's gonna take a while before it becomes a standard thing. Like enough people are gonna get it, and then it'll become common. And then
enough people aren't going to get it until they start standardizing for it. It's like, how many people are going to buy a Quad HD television to watch television when all television plays at like 1080p absolute max?
And I don't even know if like 4K. No, I'm pretty sure 4K Blu-rays are a thing. But
Geez.
it's still very early in the stages, so they're cost up the ass, and that's why I say give it about 10 more years, and they'll be standard.
I don't want to think about the file size on those videos, though.
yeah, we're not gonna be doing 10K BrainScratch anytime soon.
10K BrainScratch.
Oh, geez. If YouTube ever gets to that point, I'll be very surprised.
It can, technically.
Think of the render times, Johnny. Think of the render times.
I'm just talking about YouTube processing that sort of thing, because I think Kurban Armani 456 does like 4K videos. I don't know what the rendering times are, but I know that's a thing and it can happen. Just it's not in my mind either.
A 1080 60 frame video that lasts about 17 minutes still takes me about 3 or 4 hours to render.
Just imagine how long it'd be stuck in processing hell on YouTube, though. Jesus, ugh.
Oh, man.
It's happened.
Anyway, that was the Flut we just talked over. It jumps around at basically your standard
Flut-fluts.
vehicle.
But there's a vehicle on screen?
Oh. It does have the advantage of being able to walk around in tar without taking damage.
Oh, Ryan, you cheap bastard.
It works.
Think of the children.
That certainly did work. I'll tell you what, though, this is one of those levels where if you're actually trying to go for full 100% completion, all precursor orbs, it's really easy to miss. No, precursor orbs.
Oh.
The collectible MacGuffins, the coins.
You remembered.
It's really easy to miss, like, one iron box or a precursor orb that's half covered in sludge. Hey, it's our stereotypical drunk hillbilly.
Judging by the smell, I'd wager your bathtub sank in the mud long ago.
What's a bathtub?
Yep.
Anyway, I got bigger
What's a
problems.
bathtub?
Ain't some nasty lurker varmints a grousing about snakes.
That's concerning.
It'll
Did
explain
he
the
just
flies
try to
around him.
grope us? Like, that's what I saw when he went like...
Man, you know, I wonder how offensive this kind of thing actually is to people who live in the South.
They wouldn't know how to turn the TV on, so it's okay.
Ouch.
You're part of the problem, Ted. But are we collecting muffins?
No, we're shooting
No,
the rats.
The muffins are bait for the rats, and we need to kill enough of them, keep them away from the place long enough that his pet what was it?
I don't know.
His pet something or other comes back. If any of these rats,
They lose even one of them.
it's not bait for the rats; it's bait for his pet actually. But you can't lose any of them. Why you need all 4 muffins in order to lure his pet back? I don't know. Maybe it's just a glutton.
I think to cover all bases, but you know, I think that's it. But whatever.
How do
I don't
you
know why.
get refills of your yellow...
It just happens.
Oh, so
Yeah.
So then why even bother having the thing in the...
Well, basically what they did was they positioned you right on top of a yellow orb, a yellow eco power-up that happens to be nearby.
Okay.
So you're standing on it, you get refilled. For some reason, you don't bounce up and down like a dumbass while it's refilling your energy, which is good.
It's
But
just a little distracting to have the meter go down. I guess if they put you on top of a vent, it would be a little bit less.
It would also be visually distracting though, because the yellow eco would be all over the place.
Well,
This is a really easy thing to screw up on. But fortunately, you have a bit of a grace period when a rat hits a muffin. That you have about a second and a half to shoot them before they eat the muffin.
well, yeah, like most game, like you know, the defend the things kind of minigame is a common thing in these sorts of 3D platformers. If they don't give you that leeway, then that's where I call foul, because you can only stretch your attention so much.
Yeah.
It really depends on how many enemies they throw at you at once. And I agree, a grace period is important.
It's really only that third wave that's important, but I see Ryan is just saying fuck it and moving on.
I come back and get it later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Go take your anger out on these boxes. And pollute the swamp.
What are you talking about? It's already glowing bright green. There's probably like
Ah,
radiation all
get
through
it.
that thing.
He's causing enough pollution to call Swamp Thing to do the job for him. I like your thinking, Ryan.
Okay. Jumping around on things, breaking boxes.
Jumping on
Yes.
boxes, woo!
For when a tangent is needed, you point out the obvious. Walking on grass,
Well, you know,
breaking those cheddar boxes.
I'm learning from the best right now. I'm taking commentary lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're not making enough ice puns. 0 out of 10. Do it again.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he does a commentary on a movie, he just sort of points out what he's doing on the screen.
And this is the part where I punch the guy. I like
This is the part where I say, I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah, I said it. It's a very good time, yeah.
This hallway is murder to go through without the yellow eco power, but it just basically takes you back to the beginning of the level.
And I get the hell out of the swamp.
Thank you.
Fuck this shit.
It smells like poo gas.
Don't even like hillbillies.